Google keeps your entire online search history and gives it to the police. Is this legal? Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Matt Ganezda, filling in for Chris Chappell. Have you ever Googled something? Of course you have. How else would you know that I'm not lying when I say that Disneyland originally used real skeletons on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride? Seriously, Google it. We use Google on a daily basis for directions, news, groceries, entertainment, and even questions that we wouldn't dare ask in public. But remember, Google keeps a record of everything you search for. Incognito mode might keep your wife from finding out what you're looking for, but Google remembers. No matter what device you use, you leave a trail whenever you access the internet. This includes your search history. People can learn a lot about you based on your search history. It's valuable information. Corporations love it, and so do cops. The police are using Google search records for what are called keyword warrants. Keyword warrants are similar to geofence warrants, which the police use to gather data on all devices logged in at a specific area and time. If you want to learn more about that, check out our previous episode in the link below. But unlike geofence warrants, keyword warrants aren't limited to a particular physical location. Instead, they order search engines like Google to hand over user data based on certain phrases over a certain time period. And it isn't just super obvious ones like how to crime. For example, in 2017, Minnesota police sent a keyword warrant to Google for information including name, address, telephone number, social security numbers, and IP addresses related to people who searched for a specific name in a fraud investigation. So, if you looked up someone who was the victim of fraud, possibly with a stolen social security number, the police took your social security number. In 2019, federal investigators in Wisconsin used keyword warrants to hunt for the men they believed were involved in trafficking and sexually abusing a minor. Investigators asked Google to give information on anyone who had searched for the victim's name, 2 spellings of her mother's name, or her address over 16 days across the year. And the Denver police got a keyword warrant in 2020 asking Google for information on anyone who searched the address of a house in an arson case that killed 5 residents. The police didn't have anything else to go by other than video footage of 3 assailants wearing masks and hoodies. It sounds like we're going to need to update that expression from curiosity killed the cat to curiosity got the cat placed on a list of suspects by overreaching police dogs. From the government's perspective, keyword warrants are reasonable. After all, they're generally limited to very specific searches within very specific parameters. But these kinds of searches can still be very broad. For example, after a series of bombings in Austin, Texas in 2018, the police issued keyword warrants on Google, Microsoft, and Yahoo for information on individuals who searched for addresses and terms linked to bomb making, such as low explosives and pipe bomb. Fun fact, one of the most famous pro wrestling segments of all time was a promo by CM Punk in 2011 called The Pipe Bomb. So a bunch of pro wrestling fans who looked this up may have been investigated by the police. Probably this one. Broad or not, any keyword warrant inevitably sweeps up innocent people who just happen to search the wrong phrase at the wrong time. Even Google knows this. That's why it's fighting against a Brazilian court order demanding user search histories. But as far as we know, they're still continuing to give data to police in the US. Why? Maybe Google is a fan of Sting and are okay with the police watching every breath you take. The thing is, keyword warrants may be illegal. I'll explain why after the break. Welcome back. The police are using keyword warrants to search for anyone who looks up certain phrases online. While the government has the authority to issue warrants on electronic devices, keyword warrants are a whole nother beast. The Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by requiring the police to get a warrant. But even then, warrants need to target a particular person, place, or thing based on probable cause. But hey, who cares about amendments, right? At this point, amendments aren't barriers to protecting our rights so much as they are speed bumps, just the way the founding fathers would have wanted. But keyword warrants don't start with any identified suspect or device in mind. In other words, you don't have to be a suspect or be involved in a crime for the police to get your data. They require Google to comb through the search histories of all of its users, including users who are not logged into a Google account when they search. Yes, even those search histories. Is this based on probable cause? Probably not. According to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, a digital rights nonprofit, the sole basis for the warrant is the officer's hunch that the suspect might have searched for something in some way related to the crime. A hunch based on what someone might have searched? What could possibly go wrong? And when have the police ever arrested the wrong person? Those headlines are just from last month. According to the ACLU, trawling through Google's search history database enables police to identify people merely based on what they might have been thinking about, for whatever reason, at some point in the past. This is akin to mind reading powered by the Google time machine. This obviously raises a lot of questions. What if the keywords are not unique and the time frame is not precise? What if the police's hunch was completely off the mark? The police know full well that a majority of people they scoop up based on keyword warrants will be innocent. But innocent or guilty, this could be violating our constitutional rights, especially the Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable searches. That's why the 17-year-old charged for the Denver arson is challenging keyword warrants. According to his lawyers, keyword warrants are a 21st century version of the general warrants that the Fourth Amendment was designed to guard against. Just as no warrant could authorize the search of every home in America, no warrant can compel a search of everyone's Google queries. That would be like the NSA listening to everyone's phone calls. Oh wait, they do that already. The lawyers also said that all evidence that came from it should be thrown out because it amounted to a blind expedition through billions of Google users' queries based on a hunch. And anyone who says you've got nothing to fear if you've got nothing to hide has obviously never used Google. If you're totally comfortable with people looking at your Google searches, I find that way more suspicious. We'll have to see if this legal challenge sets a precedent for or against keyword warrants. Abortion advocates in particular are looking at the case with great interest. See, digital rights advocates have warned that internet data could be used as criminal evidence in states where abortion is illegal post Roe v. Wade. And according to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, if Google is allowed or required to turn over information in this Colorado case, there is nothing to stop a court in a state that has outlawed abortion to also require Google to turn over information on that kind of keyword search. Though I'm sure that if that happens, the police will literally have a gazillion IP addresses to sort through because literally a gazillion people from both sides of the political aisle can't stop talking about it online. So maybe from now on, when you're curious about something, don't ask Google. Ask Jeeves, because he's not a snitch. So what do you think? Leave your comments below. And if you like this show, remember that we rely mainly on direct support from viewers like you. Please visit our new Locals community at americauncovered.locals.com. Become a supporter and help us keep making great episodes. Click the link below. Once again, I'm Matt Ganezja. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.